Coffee boasts over 800 flavor characteristics, at least double those of wine. Roasting reduces the amount of caffeine in the bean. To achieve a dark espresso roast, the beans remain in the roaster the longest, so they have the least caffeine. It's the concentrated brew that packs espresso's punch. These green coffee beans have just arrived from the wet mill. Workers pour them into a blending bin that feeds a roasting machine heated to 180 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, the oils in the beans combust and the beans roast in less than 20 minutes. The master roaster must regularly check their progress. When he determines they're ready, he sets off a light spray of water in the roaster to extinguish the beans. Then they pour into a bin where they're cooled by forced air. As they roast, the beans go from green to golden brown, then black. Before roasting an entire shipment of beans, coffee makers first test a small batch. They follow a standardized procedure at the plant's testing laboratory. First, they roast 300 grams of beans in a small gas oven for a few minutes. Then, a professional taster measures out the beans and feeds them into an electric grinder. She prepares 4 separate cups of coffee with the same coarse grind. It takes 4 tastes to make sure all is well, 20 to detect the source of a problem roast. She begins by pushing aside the foam at the surface to release the intense aromas, a technique known as breaking the cup. She smells each cup in turn, a sure way to know if something is wrong with the roast. Next, she skims the surface to remove the grounds. She takes a sip, slipping the coffee over her tongue to get the full flavor before spitting it out. Now she can determine how she will balance the blend of beans to create a recipe for the perfect cup of coffee. Back on the factory floor, the various beans for the blend go into a grinder. It will produce the desired grind, coarse, medium, or a fine espresso like this. Now the coffee is ready for packaging. It's a fully automated process thanks to this machine that forms, fills, and seals the bags. Gourmet coffee must go piping hot from the grinder to the bag to ensure freshness. As the machine seals each bag, it pumps in nitrogen to replace the oxygen that makes coffee stale. The machine separates the bags, and they fall onto a custom-designed conveyor belt that weighs each one as it passes through. Over at the espresso machine, the barista demonstrates the technique required for a perfect espresso. She puts 7 grams of ground coffee into the holder, tamps it down firmly, then wedges it in place. The machine applies water pressure to extract the espresso. The distinctive foam is a sign this coffee is first rate. The barista also demonstrates how to use a French press or cafetière. She adds boiling water to the coffee grounds, then pushes them down to the base. Again, she applies pressure, manually this time, to extract the coffee's aroma. Finally, she demonstrates how Costa Ricans make a traditional cup of coffee. She places a correador, a fine cotton sieve, over the cup, pressing on the ground coffee with a spoon as she pours in boiling water. No matter which one you choose, with the right gourmet roast, all 3 methods will produce an outstanding cup of rich, flavorful coffee.